Hi, my name is Abby Hermanson, and welcome to my public turn presentation. The topic I will be speaking on is the United States corporations are polluting water sources through the inadequate treatment and discharge of byproducts. My argument is that corporations have polluted water sources that have harmed people and the environment in the surrounding areas. They have tested contaminated levels in drinking water and have kept the results from the public. They have also not sufficiently been punished for breaking water protection laws by the government. So there are many health effects from contaminated water, and many of these chemicals, including PFOA and PFAS, are known as forever chemicals because once released into the environment, they do not break down and they build up in our blood and organs. So these chemicals seep into the soil and collect in water supplies like groundwater, which then gets into the public drinking water. Exposure can increase the risk of cancer, birth defects, and other medical issues.
Hi, I'm Sydney with Environmental Working Group. This week, EWG released a brand new report on the PFAS contamination crisis. PFAS, or forever chemicals as they're more commonly known, build up in our bodies and don't break down in the environment. Virtually the blood of every American is contaminated with PFAS, which has been linked to an increased risk of cancer as well as other diseases. Here are 3 things you need to know about our report on these notorious and persistent compounds. First, new laboratory tests commissioned by EWG found PFAS in the drinking water of dozens of U.S. cities, including major metropolitan areas. These results show that previous estimates of the number of Americans exposed to PFAS were way off and dramatically underestimated. Second, of tap water samples from 44 places in 31 states and the District of Columbia, only 1 sample had no detectable PFAS. Last, the water sample collected at Belleville Elementary School in New Brunswick County, North Carolina, had the highest level of PFAS of all of the samples tested. At Belleville Elementary, the level of PFAS was 186 parts per trillion. To put that in perspective, scientific studies recommend a level of just 1 part per trillion of PFAS in drinking water. And that's 3 things you need to know. Check out the full report at ewg.org.
As you can see, many of these corporations knew the harm that their pollutants did to people, but did not inform the public. In 1981, 3M found that ingestion of the substance PFOA caused birth defects in rats. After 3M shared this information, DuPont tested the children of pregnant employees in their Teflon division. Of 7 births, 2 had eye defects. DuPont did not make this information public. In 34 places where EWG Environmental Working Group tests found PFAS contamination has not been publicly reported by the Environmental Protection Agency or the state environmental agencies.
Had between 30 and 40 surgeries in my lifetime due to the birth deformities I was dealt with. Had a keyhole pupil, serrated eyelid, and I was only born with 1 nostril. I've had some major reconstructive surgery to bring me where I am today with both rib cartilages taken, metal plate in my nose. I just thought it was, I got dealt a bad hand. It really just kind of blew my mind and had me in shock for a while. And I got out of that. Grew up as a teenager, have a lovely wife, and my battle changed to, well, I pass this on to my children because I know the battles that I face, and I would never, ever want to put that knowingly on anyone. I would say I am angry and frustrated. I'm shocked that this great company that is held in such high regard by cities and a nation almost, I mean, around the world maybe, that it's not a priority for them. It's not a priority to get this right and make it right.
The United States government has not sufficiently punished these corporations for polluting. Here are some examples. The United States government paid out $124 million for oil spill cleanup, but only recovered $49 million from these corporations. As a result, taxpayers subsidized over $75 million to clean up the oil spill. The government passed the punishment from the corporations who caused the oil spills to the taxpayers. Another instance is that in some cases, the government has simply turned a blind eye to the actions of many of these corporations and companies completely, while letting their illegal polluting go unpunished. DuPont, an American company, dumped 7,100 tons of PFOA-laced sludge into the Ohio River for decades, and the government did not stop DuPont from their polluting. Some people may say that there have been multiple methods already in place by the U.S. government to reduce pollution production, one of which is the Water Quality Trading Program, which is a type of cap and trade, which allows corporations that don't use all of their cap to sell their excess amount to other corporations so that they can exceed their cap. Water quality trading programs can be a viable means for producing substantial cost savings while meeting water quality goals. Water quality trading programs are also designed to give facilities flexibility in timing and methods used to control water pollution. Although water quality trading programs may be a means by which corporations can minimize pollution output, it still does not completely solve the pollution problem. Water quality trading creates pollution hotspots. Since water quality trading allows polluters to purchase credits instead of meeting their pollution requirements, such programs may cause hotspots of dangerous pollution levels if one facility buys too many credits. The goal of this presentation is to reduce the amount of pollutants corporations produce in the United States water sources. One way to accomplish this is that Congress needs to create laws that would make negligent pollution of water systems a criminal offense. The increase in punishment would thereby decrease the amount of pollution that the corporations produce. Another option is that Congress must also make laws that would make corporations share their findings of the contents in the water sources that they test, especially if it poses a threat to the public. This is my Works Cited page, and thank you for listening to my presentation.